You are not alone. Well, okay, so this is an online class, so you might actually be alone right now. But that's why I'm starting this. That's why I'm doing this class, because I want you to know that you are not alone in your Learn to Swim journey. Most people that come to our program feel like they're the only ones or one of very few that don't know how to swim as an adult. And it's really helpful to know that this is not true. There are many of you out there. Do you know nearly half of U.S. adults can't swim? There was a Gallup poll survey done in 1988 that found out that 64% of adults were afraid in deep water, oceans, and lakes, and that 46% are afraid in swimming pools. While this survey is older, I do believe the numbers aren't actually drastically different. As a matter of fact, they may be worse because learning to swim, like many things, is primarily passed through our families. If parents don't know how to swim, they don't and can't provide the culture that is necessary for passing the skill along to their children. I would suspect that you probably have one or more parent that doesn't know how to swim or isn't comfortable in the water. So if you've ever felt alone, you may be like many people who are out there enjoying the water, but really hiding inside that you're not feeling calm or confident, because we as human beings are very attracted and love the water. However, most people stop when it gets to about 5 feet deep. Then the story changes. Let's take a moment here, and we're going to listen to Ebony and Solomon's stories. Ebony's story, she has a good mix of experiences, followed by some not so great experiences. And Solomon tells us a bit about her experience of learning to swim as a teenager. Go ahead and take a listen to their stories.
So my swim story is, I'm not a swimmer. A strong swimmer anyway. I mean, I guess, I can do some things. I can swim under the water with my body fully immersed and do this and get around. But as soon as you run out of air, then I would not have the faintest idea of how to recover from that, right? So my husband and I went to Hawaii and we're snorkeling. And I had on all of the gear and all the different things, and I'm out in the coral reef, and I'm like in the deepest parts of everything, and I'm, doing the whole thing and back floating and the whole night. I was like, wow. Hey, this is really great. And then that part of the trip was done, or part of the day was done, and we went back to where we were staying, and they had a pool. But I didn't have on the same equipment that I had on when I was in the coral reef, right? So I get to the pool and forgot that I did not know how to swim. And I'm on the shallow end, but then you have the drop. So I'm swimming and I'm doing my thing, and I went down to that drop, and my husband said my eyes got that big because I went totally in a panic mode. I'm fluttering around. I'm swallowing the water. I'm like literally about to drown and kill myself. And so it wasn't tragic. I think it's hilarious that I like to be in the water, and I like to be free, and those kinds of things. And so not having the equipment on, I was able to do that, and then forgot that I don't know how to swim. That's crazy. It's just like, how do you forget that you don't know how to swim? But so that was the experience of just, and I can still feel my emotions now. Like when I hit that drop, you knew that I hit it. Because everything around me just stopped, and I'm like, oh crap. Right.
The last few years, I can't even tell you the last time I was in a pool. But I didn't take any swimming lessons until I was like 18 years old. So before then, I grew up in San Diego. So I would go in the ocean, play in the water, be okay. But then I had an accident in high school where I got trapped under a wave. I forget what that's called, in the current.
Like an undertow?
Yeah, and I could not get out. So after that, I'm like, okay, I'll take a couple classes. And so I did take the lessons, but it was 3 half-hour sessions, and it was high school students that were teaching them. So to be honest, it did absolutely nothing.
Sure.
to rebuild my confidence in the water. And then after that, like I kept trying, but like that anxiety is just way too strong for me. So it's not exactly the techniques, because I think I know what to do. I just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. Most of our students have done something in and around the water, yet most of them feel like they're the only ones that don't know what to do in the water. I had a student recently, Leah. She had a greatly disappointing trip going all the way to Australia. Well, part of her trip was disappointing. Not all of it was disappointing. She had traveled all the way there, and she was feeling disappointed in the part that she couldn't go swimming in the Great Barrier Reef. Now, this not being able to swim didn't stop her from going out there. She took a tour with a glass bottom boat tour company, but she felt really alone doing that. And she was just longing to be able to do what it seemed like everybody else could do. And then in our conversation, I asked her, I said, "Were you the only one on the boat?" And she said, "Well, no, it was full of people." Let me tell you, those people probably all felt the same way she did. So what is your swim story or lack of swim story? We want to know where you're beginning from. This is your first assignment. Your first assignment is to write down your swim story so you can know what it is. It's your beginning. We don't want to feel shame or blame around it. We want to see what is just neutral in your swim story. This is your beginning point. Welcome.